Leave your comments on the Ask Reddit sub, and I'll read your answers on the next episode of LWIAR 2. What's some juicy gossip you just found out in your personal lives? My uncle told my parents that he needed money because he borrowed from the Chinese mafia and they were threatening to kill him and his family or something. My parents sent him some money and then 2 weeks later he posted a pic with a new car. Edit. My uncle said the money he borrowed was to pay off his house. Edit 2. He did not actually borrow from the Chinese mafia. He didn't even get a new house. More clarification. We're Chinese Malaysian. Most of our family lives in Malaysia while we live in the US. People US, you ask us for money. BC. My parents started a good business here. This sounds like an episode of It's Always Sunny, except in the show, the Chinese mafia part is true. I've got time. I'll listen. Their parents are the Chinese mafia. It's obvious, bro. She should have stuck with the drugs then, at least she could be honest about her product. My barber got 2 different girls pregnant, neither of whom are his girlfriend. Prices have went up a little bit, but the phone calls I overhear are worth it. Lol. Edit. Wow, thanks for the gold and silver, kind strangers. I feel like I finally made it in life now. Maybe he set the whole story up so he could hike up the price for people who want a slice of the gossip. Shaved haircut and a show? I'd pay for that. Haha, best thing I read, now I go sleep. Edit. I guess this is what they call getting rich while sleeping. And thanks everybody for the good sleep wishes. It was a good sleep. XD didn't think this would blow up like this. Why waste time? Say lot word when few word do trick. URRYTY BOD USNWRDZ ANYWE WNPPLCNFIGR at what you sign anyway. THZ is HWBMERS Thinkum Millennials DK. Some girl in our year at school posted on Facebook the other day how her boyfriend had supposedly cheated on her. They had a full-blown argument in the comments just on Facebook for everyone to see. Yesterday she posted a picture of some keys tagging her boyfriend in it, saying, "Just bought our first house together." Quote, "In school buying a house, what year is this? I hate you. I hate you. I hate you." She spoke. "I hate you. I loathe you. I hope that you choke. I hate you forever. I wish you were dead. Let's move in together. I love you," she said. Well, that's not gonna last. He probably was just begging for her to give him a second chance, so my guess is that the whole "let's move in together" was just a bribe and she 100% fell into the trap. Oh my god. Becky. Look at that crust. Those girls look like meth addicts. CMV. We got a new boss like a year ago at work and we've been hating it. People are getting written up for petty crap and suspended and losing their bonuses. I'm a good employee, but this stuff finally caught up to me too and I got written up for getting injured at work. Long story, I don't play, so where it said, employee comments, on the write-up I said, see attached, and typed out a 3-page defense talking about how I thought it was unfair and how I thought people had been getting treated unfairly for a year now. The next day I got called into a meeting by my boss, and his boss, and his boss and an HR rep so they could grill me about it. By the end of the meeting we had all figured out that it was actually the HR rep who had been screwing with people for a year now. And the anger shifted completely away from me and onto her. I went around and told everybody about it. We're going to make this B-word pay. Please make a post on some revenge or tale subreddit and link it here when this all comes together. I don't understand people like this. What did she stand to gain? I think she thought it was her job to come down hard on people and disrupt our work as much as possible, and the fact that she accidentally was having the blame deflected off her made it all the more easy. How did you guys figure out it was the HR rep? I was talking about how I didn't think it was fair that my boss kept writing us up for petty things. And my boss's boss said it wasn't him, it was the new HR lady cracking down. My boss just delivers the slips. And he gets nervous when he does it, so he smiles like he's enjoying it. Nervous smiling is a curse. I grimace when nervous and it looks a bit like a grin. It's not good. I just found out that one of my work colleagues who just returned from a 2-week expensive holiday with his wife in Iceland has just found out his wife has run up about £50,000 debt on numerous credit cards. This makes me sad. Someone thought their life was ticking over nicely. They do a good thing and that someone they love and trust rips it apart. They will doubt their every move now, because someone else broke them. Oof, that's a large amount. What did she spend it on? For a start, she paid for her son's, from a previous marriage, university fees without telling him. I'll never get this mentality. Like, I'm going to spend an obscene amount of money and pray my spouse doesn't notice. Quote. That would probably be divorce time for me. No joke. Dragging a spouse into huge amounts of debt without their knowledge or consent. How can you ever trust someone after that? You can't. Debt is not some simple problem that can be fixed in the blink of an eye for most people. One of the girls in our group of friends has never really gotten over her ex that left her 3 years ago. She will often bring him up when drunk and it has really hampered her dating life. He lives thousands of miles away. And today he posted a picture of him sitting with an attractive dude getting coffee. They are holding hands and their legs are touching. We were all sitting around the TV hanging out when she saw the picture. Shell shock is the best description for her face. It definitely did for me. In the 2 last years of high school, I was madly in love with a guy. We never had a relationship but we were close friends. I had feelings for him for months. Then one day, while we were gaming, he goes, I have to tell you something, on voice chat. And told me he had feelings for a guy in our year. It was a soothing feeling mentally. There would never be a, yeah but what if I was thinner, smarter, better looking, single quote. There would never be a what if with him. The guy liked Dick and that was it. I couldn't change that about myself. My feelings abruptly stopped and I helped him get a date with the guy he mentioned. Thank you so much for sharing. My first cousin was gay. Had come out to us already. My family turned him telling his girlfriend at the time into something salacious. My mom, his aunt, always tells the story as if it's funny. We took them both to the mall as they were 16 at the time. He thought it would be better to do it in public because he knew she'd be devastated. A real gentleman, right? We're not close. He took the girl off into a store and my family watched him tell her through the glass. Of course she was devastated and stormed out. Only later did the girl realize we were her ride home. We found her in the parking lot standing next to the car. That was one awkward but ride home for myself as an 8-year-old, but I could tell my mom was having a hard time containing her obvious enjoyment. Apparently the poor girl's college boyfriend also came out to her after this happened. So she may have had a type. Thankfully she's happily married now. I was young so I didn't say anything the time, but reading your post made me realize how wrong it was, especially for my mom as the adult. Sorry you had to go through that. Edit. Grammar. I was told that my great-grandfather kept the family farm in business by blatant and repeated acts of insurance fraud. My grandfather and his family, friends robbed an armory decades ago. Kept the guns on the family farm until we cleared out the barn a few years back and found well over 70 different firearms in the rafters and walls. And this was only a year or so after we found over $100,000 in my grandma's cookbook in bonds, silver certificates and sequential serial number notes. My uncle wants to look into local bank robberies around that time period. Don't. Just try to launder that money somehow or spend it in different places. And sell the guns off to people who won't talk. Hey, it's me, that quiet guy that likes guns. Nah. My great-grandfather was Canadian. Edit. I know quite a bit about the gross side of Canadian history. I was being facetious. No one expects the Canadian slave shack. My ex-wife and I finalized our divorce last June. She's giving birth in a few weeks with the guy she was cheating on me with. If it was anyone else I wouldn't care as much. But since it's this guy, it hurts. Oh, and she email invited me to buy them gifts off of their baby registry. So I'm trying to think of the most petty item I could get. Though I know I shouldn't show I give a crap. Unless you want to get the baby in my mama's is a hoe. Baby aggro. Don't buy her anything. That woman is taking the piss. Buy them a custom onesie that says, I cheated on my boyfriend, and all I got was this baby. My divorce finalizes on May 1st. My wife just had her baby of the guy she cheated on me with in early February. It definitely hurts. She called me a few days ago asking for my Netflix password, so that made me feel a bit better. somehow when I said no. The day we split up I changed all the passwords to Hulu, Netflix, HBO Now, and removed her from the Spotify plan to kick her back down to ads. It was extremely satisfying when she messaged me asking about it. She was pretty pissed since we'd had Netflix and Spotify for 10 years and now she'll have to start her taste preferences over again. Excuse me while I paddle my boat down her river of tears. Buy them a paternity test, it will get in you guy's head. Oh man, this is gold. And 23 and May for the kid when they turn 18. Gotta play the long game. I know a guy who got his friend to marry him so he can get a green card. Except his friend was already in a relationship. Not only did my friend get married, he also inherited a boyfriend-in-law. Now the three of them live in the same house. Boyfriend-in-law made me laugh out loud, thank you. Sounds like the start to a terrible sitcom that slowly gets more heartwarming before being cancelled after the first season. So it's on Fox. Are you sure this isn't just a sitcom you watched? Okay, but I think I would legitimately watch this if it was a show edit. That a bunch of shows have done this. Notably Shameless, US. Thanks Reddit. I think I can hear Warner Brothers scribbling. Seconded, but what if they were a literal space alien? My soon-to-be ex-wife and I separated in August 2018. She decided to end the marriage because she concluded that I would never trust her after she had an affair for more than half of our 15-year marriage. We tried to reconcile for 2 years, during which time she repeatedly told me that she had changed and that she'd never lie to me again. But I kept catching her in lie after lie. Now, she is seriously dating a guy, since at least December, and she's cheating on him with another guy. Remember folks, she has changed. She decided to end the marriage because she concluded that I would never trust her after she had an affair for more than half of our 15-year marriage. JFC, be extremely happy you're getting a divorce. She sounds like a manipulating B-word. I hope you don't have kids with her. Gotta remember, if they cheat with you, they'll cheat on you. Ugh, this. I wish I could have a conversation with myself 10 years ago. I could have saved myself and others a lot of trouble. Long story short, I was friends with a married couple and ran off with a wife. 3.5 years later, I caught her messing around with my best friend. There's way more to this, but I don't have an hour to type it all out. Edit. I took the time and wrote out more below. My cousin has been together with his wife for 14 years and has had a girlfriend for just as long. Neither of them knew about the other. He got caught because of an image on Facebook. His wife's sister posted a family picture which my cousin was in and got recognized by his girlfriend's sister's acquaintance. He got away with that for 14 years. Damn it, I wish he would have found her. Freak that guy. My neighbor's cousin broke into her house and stole 37 guns. Also, I learned my neighbor owned at least 37 guns. 37 in a row. Try not to steal any guns on the way to the parking lot. My wife's gay brother is having an affair with his husband's half-sister. The friend that told me also says the half-sister is desperate to get pregnant. This could get interesting. Edit. I'll cover off a few of the more common questions. No, my wife doesn't know yet. I will tell her soon. She's been insanely stressed at work finishing a project. I didn't want to burden her additionally. Yes, sounds like he is bi, rather than gay. Should have said in the original post. He has no idea that she is trying to get pregnant. The best kind of gossip makes you create a family tree inside of your head. So he isn't really gay? Bi maybe. Weird situation. Do you have a diagram or anything? This is rather complicated gossip. If you imagine a crowd chanting, "Jerry, Jerry," in the background, it becomes a little easier to visualize. I had to read this real slow. Me too, and then I read it again just to be sure. And again. My co-worker makes $10 an hour, works part-time and pays for her live-in. Still married. Boyfriend's rent and child support cause he's broke. She just found his bank receipt showing $17,000 in his checking account. Was this at least a wake-up call for her? Sounds like she's going to be a single mother whether she stays with him or not. Teacher is having an affair with a married security guard. They're not very careful about the flirting though, because most of the 6th graders have figured it out. Can't wait to see what happens. Edit. This is in Massachusetts for all those wondering. Sound like a very common situation. Edit number 2. I am a teacher, not a 6th grader. Edit number 3. Wow. First silver. Thank you, kind stranger. Mrs. Teacher and the security guard were in the closet making babies, and I saw one of the babies. And the baby looked at me. Something similar happened when I was in 3rd grade. My teacher, Mrs. W, was married to 6th grade teacher, Mr. W, who taught at neighboring school. Well, my teacher would often spend time with the other 3rd grade teacher, Mr. C. One time at lunch I saw them across the courtyard sharing a Diet Coke and what looked like holding hands. Even in my little mind I thought that was weird because I knew Mr. W. They were a well-known couple in our small community. Fast forward in the year, their affection becomes more blatant and it comes out that my teacher left her husband for Mr. C. They got married and had a baby. Later in high school, Mr. W was teaching a class and turns out he never remarried, and I always thought he seemed sad. But I could totally just be making that up in my mind. That sucks for Mr. W. An ex-friend of mine from high school is now in the middle of the 2nd divorce. Apparently it's because she cheated on her 2nd husband with her now current boyfriend. This is the 2nd time she's cheated on her husband, and I'm curious if she'll marry the current boyfriend and then cheat on him. I'm reasonably sure once she gets to her 6th or 7th husband, the others will form a support group. The good news is the husbands don't seem to have to pay alimony very long. Karen from spin class has a new rice cooker. I prefer the Instant Pot myself for the multifunctionality, but good for her. That B word. Trial for the woman is on the 6th. Don't know if the guy still be tried on the same day. They're looking at 1 to 3 years in prison as far as we know. 1 to 3. That is it. Guess they picked a good country to smuggle in. 'Cause I was expecting 20 years. Or death. Good to know. One of my sister's friends from her sorority had a mental breakdown on her 2 roommates. Of all the crazy crap I overheard, the best part was when she got in her car and proceeded to ram into the back of one of the other friend's car, over and over, for almost 2 hours. They've got security camera footage of her ramming the car, backing up, and doing it again for 2 whole freaking hours. Amazing. Wow, what kind of car was she driving? I'm curious what make, model car could withstand that kind of abuse for 2 hours. I wonder what songs she was playing during those 2 hours. That's a Spotify playlist I'd be interested in looking through. Move B word, get out the way. Wow, I hope that girl gets the help she needs. And I'm curious why someone would let a person ram their car for that long. Not a rodeo clown in the world gonna stop that raging bull. Thanks for watching LWIAR 2. The best of all time r/AskReddit submissions and comments. If you like this video, check out the original LWIAR channel. And don't forget to like and subscribe.